His show name is Rhapsodies Absolute, and he's a 4-year-old Shetland Pony Arabian Cross. And this is my third time working with him, and I just discovered a couple sessions ago that he's a bit ear shy or head shy, but because of his ears specifically. So we're gonna work with him a little bit, and hopefully we'll see some improvement in this one session. Yay! So hello, he's had 2 dually sessions, so he's fairly familiar with the pressure of the dually halter, which helps support intrinsic learning. So here we go. Just to show a little bit of how head shy or ear shy he is right now, I'll do a little demonstration of what that looks like. So he's okay with the head rub. As soon as I go over here, well, I've worked with him about 2 minutes with his ears, and he's already much better. He's a fast learner. So, but when I used to come here, he would jerk his head so drastically he hit his head on my head, especially with this one. So I'd come around here, and he really like sent it my way and didn't care if he hit me in the head with his head. So we're gonna work with that. He's obviously not happy, especially if it's coming from behind and kind of gets caught there. So that's okay, we'll work with you, we'll help you get better, yeah. Okay, so this is something I also learned from Monty Roberts. I give credit where credit is due. It's a technique. I'm not saying I do it perfectly, but this is a technique I learned from him with a horse that has issues with their ears, like serious issues. So you can start like this, just love on them, love them, love them, love them, and then, whoop, oh, I just went over both your ears. Oh, and I found this is effective for even the most head shy horses. If you do it right, with the right timing. So just love them and go over. So I've already been doing that maybe 10, 15 times, so he already knows, but the first time I did that, he jerked his head up, each time I did it, but each time was a little less. So he's getting familiar with the forward motion, and this is really important because when you're putting the bridle on, when you're putting the halter on, man, the horse has got to be used to that. Or else it's a bear. Even a horse this small, he's actually a pony, can give you trouble with his head in the sky if he's not comfortable with this motion. So then you can do the back motion. You can rubbing the top of their neck and go forward. And just straight over those ears. So once the horse seems just fairly comfortable and relaxed with that, I was going faster and faster, but you want to keep a fairly consistent rhythm so they get just used to that feel with ritualistic habituation. That's the reason for the importance of keeping a consistent rhythm, because if you change it up too much early on with trying to condition them with something, it can be just a little too much at once. So the ritualistic habituation helps them to understand, oh, it's okay, this new thing that's being done is okay. I can grasp it. Yay. And I'm also, when I'm back here, I'm rubbing the top of the horse's neck where their mane is, kind of up and down. That's one of the horse's adrenaline reducing sites, actually. There's one up here and one on the top of their neck. And that's one reason why it's kind of helpful for a horse for a reward. The head rub, that it's an actual scientific thing about helping to reduce the adrenaline in the horse. So yeah, so here we go. So he's a lot better. Now let's see what he does when I come up to him like I was before. He's just a little bit, it feels kind of weird because I wrapped my thumb around his ear a little bit, but I think that's a lot better. He's not jerking his head towards my head like he was before we started recording. So that's good. I'm glad to see that improvement in this little time from this little guy. Yeah, he's a good boy. Good boy. And so then after that, I would, if you have a horse that's head shy, you can do that just once a day or even a couple times a day with time between, you'll see improvement very fast. And then you can start doing it with things like a soft long line like this one, and just kind of whoop like that, and rub 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 whoop like that. Head rub, always reward with release and a head rub, and over and over. And so then he'll just be more and more used to that kind of motion, especially if you're preparing to bridle a horse. And if it gets caught, hey, that's okay. And if he starts to look like, hey, this is a little too much, you can go back a step. So I went back to that original position with my arm this direction, but with the line going over. What a good boy. So I like that, ending on a good note with him relaxed and not jerking his head. And we'll call that a day for that one.